Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and this is my quest for England. As you know, we're all in lockdown and we can't get out and we can't go and explore places even on video, which has been very frustrating. And as you may have noticed, I've been managing to get out in my vicinity, but of course I'm running out of places on a daily basis. However, there are some more. To add insult to injury, I have, as some of you may know, pulled a muscle in my back, which has been very debilitating, and I've been struggling to get out. And today I've just not been able to get out at all. It's been quite painful. So I'm trying to relax and keep the muscle moving, but also not overstressed, because if I sit down for any prolonged period, it does sort of seize up, really. Anyway, so I thought I would just have a chat to you today and tell you about future projects. I guess one of the things about this lockdown situation that we're in whilst we're suffering the crisis of COVID-19 here in the spring of 2020, and the only reason I mention those things, which are obvious to you, but anybody discovering this video in the future will perhaps wonder, you know, what all the fuss was about in terms of not getting out, I mean. So it's good to clarify that. The one thing, though, I think it does concentrate one's mind is what we're going to do in the future. And the future of the Bald Explorer and my quest for England is something that's obviously been occupying my mind for quite some time. And so, as you can see behind me, I have quite a lot of books. I'm fascinated by history, heritage, landscape and nature. Don't always manage to retain all that information. And often when out exploring, switch the camera on, the brain goes completely empty. The mind cannot conjure up all the facts and figures and words and all of that, which is a bit of a shame. Now, people who delved into my background would have seen that I started the Bald Explorer with long format productions. These were anything from 30 minutes to 45-minute documentaries, and there's about 6 or 7 of them. I can't actually remember how many. One was looking at the old lumps and bumps of prehistory, the burial mounds and that sort of thing in Wiltshire. Another one looked at the perils of travel in the old days. I did a little study of Petworth in West Sussex, and also taking the water at Tunbridge Wells. We looked at the plight of crumbling churches and whether we should let them fall apart or actually hold on to them. And these long format documentaries have been praised by loads of people, and often I get messages saying, why don't you do more of that sort of thing? We did a fantastic one looking at the Shrewsbury and Newport Canal, and there was a huge canal enthusiastic audience out there who were saying, you know, do my canal, do my canal. And I would love to. The thing about these long format videos is that they can take months to research, to do them properly. They were just effectively me operating the camera, all the shots that I'm not in, and there's quite a few of those, all the cutaway shots and things, I shot myself. And then for the ones that I'm in and I'm presenting a script that's pre-written to camera, I was using anybody who would be willing to come out and help me. Friends, relations, my children came out, pressed the red button after I'd lined up the camera. And I love doing that. I love a small crew of perhaps 2 or 3 of us going out and making that sort of stuff. But in order to satisfy the YouTube algorithm, which as I record this, I've now managed in, I think, 2 3/4 years to get just under 10,000 subscribers. You have to keep producing content on a regular basis, and nobody is going to want to sit or rather wait for 3 months to happen before the next Bald Explorer video comes up. However, having said all of that, I am very keen to make some long format videos, documentaries again, but keep the 10-minute daily videos, the walks, the explorations as much as possible. And in a previous one you'll see that I was thinking about turning my car into a camper van, which I definitely want to do, which enables me to go somewhere for perhaps one night or possibly 2 nights, certainly no longer than that, because sleeping in your car is not ideal, but it sort of enables me to go out and grab a whole load of stuff. At the same time as doing that, it will also enable me to grab the necessary cutaway shots for a longer format documentary, which would be better shot using my slightly better cameras, my bigger tripods, stuff that I can't take on my walks. So that's very much the plan. Now, if you, at the time of recording this again, people will be aware that in our lockdown situation, I've been reading some classic literature by J.B. Priestley, English Journey, which was published in 1933. And one of the things I would love to do is follow in Priestley's footsteps, visiting some of the places he went to 90 years ago, and look at those towns and villages and see what they're like today, and do some explorations on that. Of course, it's not just that. I'm interested in a whole load of different things connected in my quest for England, not least architecture. And I've got various books on architecture here. This is just one I picked off the shelf by Hugh Braun, English Architecture, which tells me the history of it. And it would be lovely to produce some documentaries based on these books that I've got, particularly the nice older ones which are perhaps out of print, and look at their perspective on the histories and almost follow again in their footsteps. I've also been reading a fantastic book here called The Open Fields. This is about the back in the end of the Neolithic period, the early man, during the Iron Age and the Bronze Age, and then into the Saxon period of when we had these open fields and how they were cultivated. And there's a lot of speculation and there's a lot of modern finds, but this is a fantastic book that explains more than just the fact that men had strips of land and they were responsible on their domain for looking after that land and growing enough to sustain themselves and working for the lord of the manor. It's absolutely fantastic. And I would like to do all sorts of funny and interesting one-off documentaries like that. Another one, the wool trade. The wool trade's so important in the English history and our land. Eating lamb or eating sheep was pretty much low on the list of importance with lamb, but the wool is what set up these merchants in these amazing houses which still remain from pretty much time immemorial, really. The quality of our wool in this country was so superior to anywhere else, thanks to our pasture and our grasslands, that we became, on the back of that, a very powerful nation, all thanks to the wool. And in fact, I believe, I don't know whether it's still true now, but up until fairly recently, the Chancellor of the Exchequer used to sit on the wool sack, because the wool sack is really what put him there. Then slightly more modern things, exploring things like the Battle of Britain. That was very much going to be my history this summer, but with the lockdown and the crisis, that's very much put a bit of a kibosh on that. But I would still like to go and explore that more recent type of history. So they're the sort of things that I'm aiming to do in the future, and I'm hoping that you will come along with me and enjoy all of that. Obviously, we've got to get through this crisis first. As I say, there'll still be the walks, there'll still be the heritage and the landscape, and as much nature as I can learn. There's so many fascinating things in this country and so many different places to go to and explore. So I have every determination to do more of that, keeping the 10-minute walks, but also trying to get some specials in there as well. Now, don't forget, this is the only way I'm making my living, so you can become a patron, support what I do if you enjoyed what I do, which is very great. You can put thumbs ups on the videos. That really does help the old algorithm push this out to more people who might be interested in what I do. And we have a Bald Explorer Facebook group, which is a closed group and you just basically apply like in all of these Facebook groups, and we let you in. There's no fee, there's nothing like that. But we've got this amazing community of people who are posting videos of their heritage, landscape and nature experiences and their photographs. And we have this wonderful community where people can get to know each other. And of course, we do the Bald Explorer Walks, a group of those people who like walking. We try and organise once a month a walking, the group to go walking somewhere. Clearly, we haven't been able to do that in recent times, but I'm hoping that once we come out of this situation, whenever it is, we can get this going again and restart the walks and go and explore some wonderful things. So today's video, not terribly exciting, not being able to go anywhere and explore anything, but I'm hoping that if my back can pull through, the key thing is not to sit down for any length of time, I've discovered. So whilst that's healing, there may be a few bits to camera that I do, but we'll see how that goes. And hopefully I will pass over the 10,000 subscriber number within the next few days. And if we do, thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed and everybody who's following me and wishing me luck with this. It's very, very kind of you. We'll see how it goes. And I appreciate everything and all the support that you do. Anyway, in the meantime, keep safe, wash your hands, keep your social distance, all that sort of stuff. And we will get through all of this, I'm absolutely convinced. And very soon, I'll be out and about exploring more and more. So, until next time, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.